What's going on, Reject Nation? Greg and John here today. We are going to watch Kingdom 1 by 2. Really love the first episode, sincerely. Guys, if you end up enjoying our reaction, it would mean the world if you could go ahead and hit that like button. It helps us out in the algorithm more than anything else. Please subscribe, click that notification bell. We're going to be putting these out weekly. I'm just glad to have you here, man. Some of this Korean cinema experience has been freaking awesome. It's something I wanted to dive into years ago. I remember talking with John and my brother about it. This year has just been freaking awesome to really be exploring it.
It's a good year to be Korean.
Good year to be Korean and like Koreans.
That's right. Bad year for races who hate Korean.
Guys, full-length watch-alongs, we sync it with the time code over at our Patreon page. Cover a whole bunch of shows over there. We're at the same tier. You get the option for reaction highlights and watch-alongs included. Lastly, thank you to Prepper for editing down these highlights for us. Let's get into action, people.
한마디만 더 한다면 삼족을 멸할 것이다.
Damn, dude, that's a turn.
농이다.
무슨 놈은 그리 살벌하게 치십니까?
That's what I do, John.
Yeah. I just take things too seriously.
앞으로 한식경까지 나오지 않으면 내 너의 삼족을 멸할 것이니라.
그 놈이 정말 재밌습니까?
난 재밌구나.
You got a sick sense of humor, man.
Freedom of speech.
살아남는다면 기장력 하나만 하사해 주십시오. 사무한테는 그것만큼 좋은 것도 없다지 않습니까? 덤으로 소고기 한 건도.
Oh yeah, they never did get those beef pancakes.
너무 고요하다. 아까부터 벌레 소리조차 들리지 않는구나.
Do the zombies eat the insects too? Or does the disease wipe out the insects too?
Either seems possible.
저기 인가가 있습니다.
All the bugs are in that house. Ooh. Don't open, dead inside.
How unsettling. Where'd they all go? They can fly?
아, 위험합니다. 제 옆에서 떨어지지 마십시오.
I would draw your swords, man.
저 옆에 떨어집니까?
Good thing he didn't have his sword drawn. Oh. What?
Someone like stuff him under there?
Whoa.
Oh no, it's like a king rat.
What's what? Oh, look at that girl's neck. Yeah, this shit's so cool.
No. Like, just when you thought they couldn't brush up the zombie tropes.
이승이원의 시신이 없어. 살아있는 게야.
There he is.
Jumping for joy.
금정산 중턱에 위치한 지유런 건물 안에서 발견된 시신들입니다.
첫날부터 이런 일이.
Priorities, man. No. Not in the water.
Why not the water?
Someone might drink out of there.
Oh yeah, that's true.
혹시 어디 있는지 알고 계신가?
전 그곳에 약재만 됐을 뿐 아무것도 모릅니다. 늙은 아버지가 이 난리통에 아침부터 아무것도 못 드셨는데 물이라도 떠다 드려야 할 거 아닙니까? 전 물기를 갈라니까.
Told you, man. Can't be Jasoning all these bodies at the bottom of the lake.
너무 중요해서 그러네.
A lot.
안에는 절대로 아니지 않겠네.
Even for today's times, it looks like a lot of money.
It's a fistful of gold.
저를 찾아와선 원골에서 난다는 생사초라는 풀에 대해 이것저것 물었거든요.
Resurrection plant.
살리는 풀이니 뭐니.
Oh, interesting. There's a bit of a mystical element to this.
저하께서 여기 계십시오. 제가 다녀오겠습니다.
아니다. 혼자 있는 게 더 무섭다.
I would rather walk than be alone and frightened.
지유런, 서비라는 의녀냐? 괜찮다. 나와보거라.
They're the nice side of royalty.
지유란 사람들이 죽은 건 어찌하십니까? 그 사람들을 보신 것입니까?
그래. 지금 시신들을 관하로 옮겨 그 사건을 수사 중이다.
안 됩니다. 그 사람들은 죽지 않았습니다.
Still?
No, I think they're gonna come up from the water, man.
어디 갔냐고! 여기 있던 사람들 다 어디로 갔냐고!
They come alive at night or something?
Or like, I don't know, under rain, or I'm trying to think of any possibility.
비키시오! 비켜!
Dang.
Wow, what a tracking shot.
No.
Damn.
Like, is this a crane? Is this a drone?
이자들은 죽은 게 아닙니다!
용문 파기가 교제였습니다. 저자가 범인입니다.
Guys, no. Listen for a second.
Oh, was he trying to burn them all?
Probably. I mean,
why I
that's
got all
the
that
smartest
bamboo.
thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
No.
No,
No,
people,
no.
people,
Everyone,
no.
stay back.
God damn it, no. No! Let it burn!
악취를 풍기고 짐승의 소리를 내지 않았더냐?
맞습니다.
네 말을 입증할 물증이 있느냐?
Oh, you guys are gonna have all the evidence you need to.
Yep. The feeling people won't need much convincing.
난 지유론으로 갈 터이니 넌 이 여인과 관하로 가서 진위를 확인하거라.
아니되옵니다. 어찌 미친 개짓 말을 또 혼자서.
중요한 일이다.
Hat, grave.
Ooh, he's got a bunch of nipple chills.
I know.
I just felt all the ooh.
That momentum.
Does anybody have an iPhone?
There's a signal out here.
Oh, there's gonna be like one left. Oh no, there's gonna be a dead horse. Dead horse that's gonna come in the show. I don't like dead horses. I like my horses living and breathing.
전하의 뜻이 담긴 비만기입니다.
This asshole, man.
Don't you got bigger fish to fry?
정령 아바마마께서 돌아가신 거냐 말이다.
전하께서 돌아가시다니요. 그럴 리가요.
Damn, I love the breath.
전하께서 아직도 살아계십니다. 물론 정신이 혼미하시긴 하시나
Keeps trying to bite people.
He's really hungry.
난 선택된 것이다. 아바마마께 물려받은 이 왕제의 핏줄로 이제 너희를 단죄할 것이다.
그 칼로는 사람을 죽일 수 없습니다.
I'm sure you could manage it. Pocket sand.
Nice. Good one, man. Good one.
차라리 세자로 떠나지 말지 그랬어.
Oh.
Oh no.
No.
What the hell?
이들은 죽지 않았습니다. 해가 지면 일어나서 사람들을 물어뜯을 것.
So it is a nighttime thing. That's
Crazy. I wonder why.
because it's atmospheric and moody.
저 미친 년놈들을 당장 하옥시켜라!
나리,
My God.
나리 사람들을 피신시켜야 합니다.
You guys are safer locked up.
I mean, you guys will be fine.
What do you see?
움직였다.
Oh, dude, just off his reaction. Is that the dad?
That's, I think so.
중전마마께서 왕자 아기씨를 출산할 때까지 분명 살아계신 것이네.
Damn. This is so messed up. We just need you to walk outside for a minute so people think you're alive.
Put you on a leash. No.
Oh, sick.
Oh yeah. With those contortions going.
Why was he at the front of the line?
No.
Oh no, this is just gonna get really out of hand now.
Yep.
You guys got really lucky. You got locked up.
All you gotta do is hold these bars till morning. Whoa!
No, bad idea, man. Dude, this dude is spry.
This dude is awesome.
Who's in there?
I'm not sure.
How long have they waited to open this box?
Yeah, I know. It's a really complicated lock. Oh!
Should have gone for the head.
Can't kill a man with that sword.
Oh, damn. Was he bit? Couldn't even tell.
I think the guy on the ground was bit.
Oh yeah, he's bit. He's gone for. Well, that solves one problem.
Yeah.
It looks so painful.
I know. All the contortions and stuff looks so nasty. It's good physicality.
Turn around.
Oh, nice. Great splat.
He's discovered the secret to beating them.
Yeah. He's like the first one.
Oh, that's some eerie ass sound design.
Burn it all. Let it burn.
This would be an awesome video game.
Yeah, right? Ghost of Tsushima meets Resident Evil.
That escalated
In
way
Korea.
faster than I expected it to. I thought it was gonna be like episode 4.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like in these 2 episodes, you've seen like each little wave of the infection as it's slowly spreading.
I love just how this show manages to progress quickly with the plot, but also take its time and let you become absorbed into its mood and atmosphere. I feel like the preferred way, you got to watch the show with headphones, because there's like subtle sounds and just the environments, like when at the place where the water is.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, oh, you could hear some of the wind and stuff in there that just creates so much more of a mood. And I feel like if you're not watching this show with the headphones, you might miss some of that.
Yeah, absolutely. The sound, especially when things are in different channels, it really enhances just the feeling that you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be like a few episodes before we were feeling like our crown prince was getting some validation and being right of his suspicions. This is so how it's all just getting out of it. It's like, yeah, they have no reference point for any of this, so like they have no idea what the hell's going on. But I like the inclusion of what they're doing with the formation of, or the creation of the zombies, essentially. Like you're slowly understanding the mythos behind it for this specific series, that they come out at night and that they come from the resurrection. I mean, that's not confirmed yet, but I'm assuming that's what it's going to be, that it stems from the resurrection plant. And I think they just seamlessly weave the politics together for it all. I still don't understand the point of keeping the emperor alive. Is it just so that way, like when some people pass by, they'd be like, no, I saw him moving? Or,
It's basically, if they declare the emperor's actually dead now, then that means the crown prince takes over. Yeah.
So the whole point of just keeping him in zombie form is for the few people who can just confidently say, no, I saw him moving.
Yeah, he's making sounds. He's there.
He's still alive. He's still moving and stuff. So we just gotta keep the body alive for the random witness who might see him pass by or something like that. But as this is all falling apart, like I don't want to get caught up too much in predictions, just because like all the episodes are already out and we are watching this just 1 week at a time, so we'll see how this all unfolds. But from what we're getting so far, I mean, I love the main character. I love the two of them, the Crown Prince, Lee, and who's the other guy?
And Moo Young, I think his name is.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it properly.
Yeah.
But those two characters, just their chemistry together, real Greg and John dynamic. Constantly jesting my buddy here.
What? Come on, no.
I'm always like, John,
Don't murder my family.
I'm gonna annihilate your family, John. I'm gonna kill your family, man.
It's kind of funny, but it's not funny.
It's not funny, man. Because you might actually do it.
You never got me those beef pancakes. Yeah, they're great together, and like I love how seamless. It's interesting because their relationship is both friendly in a way and familial, but also based off of this hierarchy.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, in this hopeless situation where even the crown prince is sort of thrust out of his authority and realm of comfort, they really do make a very natural pair, and I love watching the sort of progress, even when they're sort of separated. And I mean, as the episode ended, I feel like the last time we saw Moo Young was slipping into the crowd.
Yeah.
So, you know, I have to imagine the way they get reunited will probably be interesting to see in the next couple of episodes.
And I'm wondering, I'm trying to ask myself, what is it of why the guy who was part of I'm so sorry for not remembering the name of locations and people's names, the person who they were searching for, and he came forward and he was trying to burn the bodies.
Yeah.
I find it really interesting, and I don't know exactly what it is, how this, from episode to episode, it managed to springboard me into being like, this dude's kind of an unlikable guy.
Yeah.
To, I don't know why I really like this guy now. Like,
To please listen to this guy.
it was his fault without him realizing it was his fault what happened. Like he didn't know that, you know, serving I mean, it was like messed up and disgusting. It's borderline sadistic. I mean, granted, desperate times. I get it.
Yeah.
He had good intent. I get it. And you know, I can never understand such a poverty-driven situation. I mean, I will when the channel crashes and YouTube explodes. Then I'll know what it's like to suffer such depraved hunger.
To weep as you eat my lifeless body.
However, I don't know, maybe this was the fact of how he was actually like really capable in action.
Yes.
You know, how he just like springboards past the guards, like
Throwing himself through doors.
he gets past the guards at all points. He's able to fight off so many of them.
Yeah.
And then like knocking down the doors and such. And it seemed like somehow what this episode did for me with that character, when you do an action like what he did before, because when he's serving all the people in the last episode, it sets you up in a way of, oh, look, this guy's actually, as much as he complains and shit, he's actually a good person, you know. And of his first scene, he's, you know, going up against the king, and he's, you know, standing up for the people. And as much as there were decisions that he was making that were like, man, you're making this guy kind of unlikable, he feels very human in that regard. So, but then it's like, oh man, but you fed all the people a human being. What's wrong with you? It's disgusting. Yeah. But I think what this episode, I guess what they made the line very clear on is that he really cares, though.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, despite some of the things he says and choices he makes, he really cares. Like, he was like desperate as hell to try to get through to people. Like, I know everyone's gonna try to kill me. I'm the guy you're looking for. Let me just try to burn these bodies. Please, like, I'm gonna fight you all off.
There's no time.
Yeah. So I think that might be what it is, because I was kind of surprised by how much I was really loving watching him on screen this episode.
Yeah.
He's not like the focal point of this episode. He's part of the focus, but that was probably the thing that surprised me most. I was pretty surprised that the guy who was antagonist, the only person's name I know is Lee Chang, his crowd person. But the way how the person who was antagonizing him, you know, the one who keeps, like, obviously wanting to kill him, and, you know, pretty much rob him of his
one is really
his pedigree, his prestige.
Yeah, the one who's really carrying that torch for you're causing treason.
Yeah. Even though you know he knows he's not. But he just wants to bring him down out of how jealous he is and such. Point being is, I was surprised by how, the second episode he turns. I thought that was going to be like a thing that goes on for a while, just because I'm used to that's what American dramas would definitely do. And I think that's what's been refreshing about watching a lot of this, is it's not as predictable. And I don't know if it's just the fact that it's Korean drama, or if it's just generally just really great writing. It's probably both.
And I mean, even just from like a zombie story perspective, I think they've done a really neat job in how they're spreading things out, because I feel like a lot of zombie things do the outbreak, you know, in interesting ways, but oftentimes I feel like part of the driving sort of aesthetic force is that, oh man, like there's no way to stop the spread, whereas this is like a very slow set of waves, and it's like you have, you know, that first bunch of corpses and they're all sort of isolated, and you're like, man, if he'd just gotten back and was able to burn all this down, maybe there wouldn't be an outbreak. But because of these decisions that overlap into political greed and, you know, treasonous pursuits and whatnot, it becomes this what feels like a very big and intricate and interworking, you know, series of decisions that are just gonna make this that much worse because nobody understands. And it's a great tension driver that fills me with that like nervous laughter of like, man, these people don't understand and are just like not paying any mind to any of the warnings they're given in any way, shape, or form. And then to watch as, like, you know, even the magistrate is sitting there like, well, go on, poke the body. You know, like the second something turns, you know, they are still kind of like frightened by it. So I like the human elements of how they're building the outbreak. I like this sort of way they're spreading that out, because it does feel more akin to this time where, I don't know, I feel like in like the 16th century or something like that, things wouldn't spread in the same way they do now. And I think they've done a nice job with also just displacing the drama and the zombie stuff, because, you know, in the first, I feel like the first halves of both of these episodes have laced in your different clues and your different things that you know are going to come back and get more sinister later, like, you know, dumping bodies in the river or whatever. But then as the second half of each episode, at least these first two, has kicked in, that's when you really start to get to, you know, the physical matter at hand, which is the outbreak. And so I think they've done a nice job of just balancing both, making both sets intriguing, mixing the, you know, character and political motivations into the messiness of the action that goes down when zombies show up. And the way they portray them all is like, that way they pull them out from underneath. It's we've seen more and more in recent years of, you know, zombies being portrayed as like roaches, just like crawling all over each other in piles and stacks and whatnot. And to see just like an interconnected chain of bodies pulled out, like it was a really unique image, even out of all the, you know, millions of zombie movies that I've been subject to. I was like, wow, I've never quite seen that take before.
Well, there were parts of it that were a little confusing at the time because we were like, are they dead? Are they asleep?
Yeah.
Are they just human bodies who placed these bodies? So like it wasn't clear cut. And I think to your point about the way this collapse is ultimately progressing, what makes it very different is a lot of the things that of how shit could be prevented are often consequences of people having good intentions. Like, okay, the king's dead, how do we help him out? You know.
Well, it's both though, because it's how do we help him out, but also how do we usurp the throne? Like, how do we keep him alive in order to pursue our own goal?
But that's one part. It's also, yes, it's both. At the same time though, take what you were saying about the one guy who wanted to burn the bodies, the crown prince. If the crown prince wasn't so intent on discovering the truth, so them getting inside the gates, that guy could have successfully burned the bodies.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's a good call too.
So that like everyone has good intentions, they just don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, they can't see the big picture.
So some of these guys just like kind of slowed down a little bit. A lot of this could have been prevented.
Yeah.
Like the guy who I was just talking about of how I grew to really like him in this episode. Good intentions. Yeah. He wanted to help out the people. Yeah. And as much as there's messed up things about how he did it, his intentions were good. Was serving his people.
Help saving everyone's ass.
And now his it is interesting to see that they're not like suffering consequences off of like terrible choices. It's actually all good choices, so it seems like this is all inevitable.
Yeah, it's a fascinating way they've put those two flavors together, because there are aspects where you're like, oh, this could be prevented, but also, yeah, given the limited scope and the fact that you're in a much earlier time where there's not a lot of precedent for even the fictional lore of this, yeah, it does feel like this inevitable thing that is naturally occurring even through just people's best intentions.
Yeah, and again, I mean, I feel like this is a point that will probably just get reiterated all the time. So I mean, I'll just say it again, just for the sake of saying it, that the way this show is captured is undeniably cinematic. It doesn't feel like you're watching a show. The way they like whoever is their AD or the location scout, this is fucking phenomenal. That's why I was like, it seems such a part of the DNA of the story that I'm like, do they write around locations? You know, like that it just kind of popped into my mind because the amount of tracking shots they use to really let you get a sense of the environment, like it doesn't feel like you're on sets at all. It feels like real locations, whether that's the wilderness, trekking through the woods, going through the forest, it's just any of the many places you're looking throughout the kingdom.
All those aerial villages, shots, all the aerial, like even because you can build pretty elaborate sets, but they don't always roof that stuff. And that one where you're like tracking above this entire structure, and
how it's near the river and all those beautiful, gorgeous trees. It's surprising just how grand this all looks. It's very rich in its color and texture. So. Yeah, I'm very much impressed with this. This is a really, it's like cool too. This is like a cool show.
Everything.
It's just cool.
It's intimate, but also kind of huge, and also cool, but also very suspenseful and personal, and
I'm pleasant. I'm liking this a lot more than I expected to. I mean, I expected to like it just because of the amount of people that recommended it. But I wasn't expected to be like, damn, this show's really good doing it for me.
Quality cinema right here.
All right, guys.
Just satisfying.
Keep a lookout for our reactions to the next one, episode 3, because we're committed. See you guys soon. Thanks for being here.